I thought that they might even float the idea of keeping it open for themselves.
So now are they saying Falcons Vega pick the Loyi?
Ooh.
Make our day.
Bigger day. Let's see if that'll happen. It seems like Falcons Vega now are going to be playing into a field where the Rogers, the Lynx, the Hayabusas of the world will be open unless they take one of those out. But no, it's the Claude. So it's a free board of assassins opened up for both teams.
Yep, Hayabusa, not exactly first pick material. There's so many other heroes that you might want to go for. And yeah, I think Terizla is a solid first. But no, what?
They steal it.
It's that high of a priority.
Yeah,
you know what? A good friend of ours, Ray Ash, belated happy birthday, by the way, foresaw that the Zask and the Jushin are some of the biggest heroes right now in the metagame. The ZZ.
Yeah, we are in this era of Zask is first pickable in the metagame. Against Vega, how are they going to respond to that? You can go ahead and steal away the strong assassins right now, but now you can tell that they're thinking about, okay, we're used to playing with this. How do we now draft around it? They pick up a Harith to dash around within the area of the Dominator's Descent and Nightmaric spawn of Zask.
If a Zask is picked up this early, you kind of want to see what kind of assassin you want to get away with. Because picking the Hayabusa this early, bad idea. Picking up the Ling this early, bad idea. And all the more now that there's so much CC on the ground for Team Vitality. With that said, they put Vivian once more on the Tigreal, slowly starting to become a signature for her. And of course, Fumi, Liquid Echoes, Terizla.
For Vitality here, this adjustment is fantastic because now you know that there's no room for the carry. There's no room for an alpha. Those chunky boys in the Tigreal and the Terizla will take a lot of time to get taken down by Falcons Vega. So now they're going to have to show up some picks here that can maybe poke them out just a little bit, and there you go. But that's 3 sources of magic damage. They're going to go for the full damage. They're leaning into that idea as a team that loves the early to mid-game power spike.
Yep, you talked about poking them a little bit. How about a lot of it?
Yeah.
Just over and over again. You could time out even the ult on the Zask and then just keep going. There's very little that can really stop Funi here. Now going to the bans, still no jungler for Falcons Vega or Vitality. So now, if anything, Falcons Vega have the tempo swing. They control what comes through because they got first pick anyways. And again, you don't want to put the assassin onto Falcons Vega too, so they can make better calls. Where is this Brody ban coming from?
We haven't even seen a Brody the entire tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Not a single ban nor pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh. Is there something that Falcons Vega knows that we do not? I mean, in terms of the reach, yeah. Thinking about it, a Brody would slot in really well for Vitality in the sense that, okay, the Terizla, the Tig, and the Zaz together might be able to create enough space, but a part of me is thinking that even with a Brody there, it's like, he still has to avoid the Lilia, still has to avoid the Harith.
Might you not go for the Ixia first?
Yeah. Looking at the side of Vitality, if you slot an Ixia there this time now, it's like, it looks good. Can work out well for them.
But also, check it out, Vitality
Carmilla
banning relatively out of left field too.
Okay. It seems like with the bans that we're seeing right now, it's forcing us to think more about how this is going to go into the team fighting. I don't see a lot of macro here. I see a lot of team fights.
Yep.
And that Carmilla, I feel like up against that lineup with Vitality, if you all get caught in the cursed blood, the Lilia, Edith, and Harith damage all together is actually going to be quite painful.
And it's not just the Cursed Blood, you can actually flip it around. Zaman Force first, if they run out, welcome him into the Cursed Blood, and then into the Glooms.
Yeah.
There's multiple ways, and it looks like we're really hunkering down on Marksman. That's another Falcons Vega ban. Taking out the Moskov.
It's a different style here. Oh, now it's an Assassin ban. Huh, a Fanny into the lineup of Falcons Vega.
They would rather the Haya or Ling.
Yeah.
Even the Nalan's still there.
Well, with so many tanky presences on the side of Vitality, actually, just thinking about an Assassin pickup here, yeah, it'll have to be something that opens up the map. But I'm thinking if this is already an Edith roam or if it will be swung into the EXP.
I think there's a lot more EXP out there left. So this might be a roam.
Okay. I agree with you.
That's what I'm feeling.
I see that. Oh, and also I realized like the Edith will happily take a few of the hits from the Nightmare spawn
Yeah.
because it allows her to build a Primal Wrath.
Yep, and then she'll, yeah. There's the Arlo. Doesn't say much still.
Yeah.
You can swing it both ways. Vitality, though, forced to finish up their lineup here, the final phase for them, and still no jungler.
Oh, we're still waiting.
In my opinion, I think they can afford a jungler. That's an assassin.
Yeah.
Between these two right now, it's them.
More for Vitality, yeah?
Yeah.
I
Even
see
if it
that.
sucks to run in against an Arlo and Edith, but, you know.
The Julian is still going to be open, but oh, is this a Lunox mid or I think it's a Lunox? It could be Lunox Gold. We're not completely turning off that idea.
Shell, what are you thinking?
What if it was a Lunox jungle?
Shell, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Last time we saw that, it was from
Oh!
Kodak in Malaysia. That's no.
That's the jungle right there.
That's the Bane.
Oh no,
That's
but
the Bane.
it could be gold. It could be gold though.
Even that is a switcheroo, but in this case, I would rather the Lunox Gold Bane jungle. I love it. Look at that, it's a trampoline funhouse,
Right.
and there's so much potential for all sorts of damage.
Right, off-kilter lineup.
Talked about it
Oh.
being a team fighting,
Yeah.
just scramble. Look at this.
It's all team fight. This is just okay. Going into it though, in terms of team fighting, it might be tough for Falcons Vega to fight into everything. When Bane throws out the sharks, when remember we talked about this with Lunox before. It's you don't know where the damage is coming from. Double that with the Zask. Falcons Vega are gonna need to rush Radiant Armors here.
And here's another.
Is that Hanzo?
That is Hanzo.
Let's go.
All right, well, Vitality needs a lot of farm. That's one thing. They need
Yeah.
to put a good amount of money on Zask, on Lunox, and on Bane. What a better way than to deny all that with a Hanzo. Oh.
Two of the best women's teams in the world, showcasing the creativity and the uniqueness of the meta of our scene. Vitality with one, Falcons with one. Whoever wins this goes into match point and a step closer to being crowned as the undeniable queens of MLBB. Let's go into the game. Casters, guys, are you hyped up about this?
I can't even express this one right here. Shout out to Leo on the Bane, and shout out to Assassin Dave for the Hanzo.
Absolutely.
Right here, we got a new headliner on the card right now. Jungle versus Jungler. I don't think anyone expected this one, but the Hanzo goes back with the ladies. Man, I remember tuning into MWI maybe a year or so ago and seeing the Hanzo picks pop up. So this is nothing new to these girls, to these teams. How do you feel about the matchups, though?
Oh, man. Yeah, definitely nothing new, especially to Vivol, because Vivol was the one that actually utilized the Hanzo a whole lot in the past tournament. So very interesting to see that Team Falcons Vega are the ones picking up the Hanzo up against Vitality. And I think I already said this off broadcast, though, that it's really good. Vitality don't really have a lot of dive towards the Shadow, right? There's no Benedetta, there's no assassin like Ling that can really jump towards her. And melee, usually the biggest problem with the Hanzo is either someone can dive or someone can invade very early on. And I think they have both of those covered with Funi on the Lilia. Amazing mid-prio. And yeah, I don't know. You mentioned Bane. I don't see Bane. That's just Leo. That's just Leo in the jungle.
Yeah, that's definitely just Leo. It's literally Leo versus Mr. Mao right now on the head of the card. And as you said, I think last picking that Hanzo was actually super clutch because you have the Bane. Vitality brings this big Ube-esque, like, we just want to steamroll onto you, stick together, have Shell in the middle, have Cine in the middle. But there's no way to answer the Hanzo here. And one of the problems we saw with the composition that Team Vitality, well, one of the problems that could be for Team, a little bit of damage from Melee.
Good shove back onto Melee. Vivol should be able to survive this, but you can see that damage already. That's the Hanzo for you. Chell. Also, this is a pick, Lunox Gold. It just brings me back to MSC 2021 when it was Harith and Lunox constantly in the gold lane. That was the matchup that we were used to seeing, and now we get to see it again. It's also Bane in the jungle, so technically it also, we did see this at M3, I believe it was Wise also utilizing the Bane in the jungle a lot of the time, so very, very interesting stuff. Obviously, for the Hanzo, you're going to be clearing out. You have a lot of damage, but neutral objective control. It's still Vivol who holds it. Implosion downtown, still able to get. Oh, Winter's out too. Out of the final slash from Violet too. Vivol going to be caught from the Echo, forced to run away. It's a vengeance all the way Melee. Oh no! A bit too aggressive under the turret. Now gets punished by Vivol. A missed mechanic.
wasn't watching the meter.
Yeah.
Just came flying in right under the tower. Maybe thought she was going to be able to get the kill there. Not quite able to do it. Let's look at that replay. It's all good from here. It's all good from here for Vega. And I see Maylane come flying in, and I'm like, all right, maybe she's... No. But all right, it's 1 for 1. Jungler does go down there. So now it's 1-1. The only problem is the jungler on the side of Team Falcons Vega goes down, and all for the price of just a roamer. That's a good trade for Team Vitality, especially when you're going up against a Hanzo.
And, oh man, that setup was just so clean for Falcons Vega, right? The combos were all there. Tal was actually able to pop the Earth Shatter right before she got caught in the implosion. So she canceled the implosion, flickered out of the penalty zone, used the Primal Rat, and then Violent came in with the final slash. That was perfect for Falcons Vega, but unfortunately, one thing had to go wrong, and it was very unfortunate that it had to be the jungler because, yeah, like you mentioned, it just became not value at all with Maylane getting picked off for the roam, especially considering technically for Vitality, they're okay if they just stay equal in the early to mid game because they are a scaling comp. They have the Lunox that can scale. I would even say Bane scales because have you seen late game damage Bane?
Late game Bane in general.
Yeah, Crab Claw Cannon hurts half your HP. Depends on what build you go for, obviously. But I think she's going to go for like the half hybrid build, which is the build that can, get half of your HP with one Crab Claw Cannon.
And he even gets a little bit of sustainability. He can hang out. He can take a couple shots to the face, get the passive off. I mean, it's definitely going to be a problem when we creep into the late game. I think Team Falcons Vega can't take that small mess up to heart. They still need to push the aggression.
Joe already using the Chaos down now. Good zoning from Chinny. He'll be used Dominus Descent, stunning Violet, Retribution battle's gonna be Vivo, wins it, Deadly Catch onto the back, knocking them up as well. Dominus is still there. Now the final slash used up, but Funi is low. Fumi, doesn't get the final shot. Chin Chao still in the bottom lane, just looking for a trade, and she is able to get all of that turret shield down below. Team Vitality traded with a turtle and a kill.
Vivian timed the push so perfectly. The moment Maylane came out of skill and was actually able to be hit, Vivian was just waiting for it and times it perfectly. Pushes Maylane to where you see no retribution, you see no ability to take this. Secures Vival, not only that, but it's able to get enough damage to kill the Shadow. And that's that.
Deadly Catch. Vival gonna be taken down. Good assassination from Maylane. The big strength of the Hanzo in the jungle. When you dive in and no one's there to help you, say goodbye, even if you are Bane. Oh, she's going damage. Hunter Strike.
And I mean, that's on the Bane. At least first item, it looks like she's going to keep on going with this. Next item, maybe, what do you just go like Malefic Roar next, or do you go Endless Battle? Where do you go next on the Bane, really?
I don't know, me personally, especially after seeing MP the King and MSC, I like to go War Axe Thunderbelt, that kind of build. It's kind of cringe, that build, but it works.
You get a little bit of sustainability, especially since you're up close, and especially up against something that's going to give you so much damage as Maylane in the early game, and we're already seeing the Maylane doesn't want to stop, even taking a death. And that's the good thing about the Hanzos. Even after taking death, you still aren't in too much risk when you keep using the Pinnacle Ninja, and you can just go out there, cause some damage, slow them down a little bit. Even if you don't get the kill, you slow them down a little bit. So just a lot of possibilities and variety with Team Falcon Vega draft. Down to the gold lane, though. Shell up against Chinsha, level 8 versus level 8. Nothing too major. The trades are coming a bit even. But when we look at the towers, Team Falcons Vega is winning out a little bit.
That's what I was talking about, by the way.
Half a health bar almost.
Crab Claw Cannon. What? It put Funi down to a quarter of her HP.
That's just one item.
That's just one item. We're talking about scaling. Yeah, no need for that. Now Maylane trying to go for the steal, doesn't get it. Vival still so consistent on that retribution. 3 turtles to Team Vitality.
Well, I think the good thing about the Vayne too is you get a bigger burst combination of damage with the retribution. Compared to Maylane, it's more of a shred damage there for a second and timing the retri, so it's not as clean. I think Vivo will continue to have the advantage when it comes into terms of, whoa, big final slash.
Good final slash canceled out, but Tao's still getting demolished by the Dominator's Descent. Violet Vengeance in the Dominator's Descent, still there, chunking their HP bars. Whoa, Cindy goes to the back, that's Funi as well. Able to pop into Black Shoes now in 1v1 against Cindy, puts in the Johnny Boys down as they've been in the bottom lane. Does seem like they were able to get rid of Violet. now it's just a win for Team Vitality. Chinchaw was able to get a turret up top. That was the only trade that they got.
Okay, I was a man of little faith when it came to the Zask, but boy, am I becoming a believer at this point. Malefic Roar does get locked in for Vival as a second item. Gonna help at least maybe deal with Thal a little bit, but just add even more damage, and depending on who else, we have the Thunderbelt, on who else wants to build this defensively, it's gonna just help shred through. And I think the Hunter Strike's a great first item as well. You get the speed boost, you get a little bit more movement on a hero that doesn't have any dashes. So in the end, it works out well for Team Vitality. And at this point in the game, they're hitting a nice power spike. They're gonna have control of the map. And Team Falcons Vega, what's the answer here? I mean, I don't see the Hans all the time. We have the early game aggression. Does it fall off like a lot of other assassins? Like, where do we go from here with melee?
Good question. No, the Hanzo does scale really well into the later stage of the game. The only problem is, even if she uses Pinnacle Ninja, I feel, especially considering Vival's building damage too, you jump in, you're dead. I mean, you still get to survive, obviously, because your real body isn't there. Yeah. But if you're just stunned out of the team fight and you don't have Pinnacle Ninja,
you might as well be dead.
Solid frames, yeah, for Vitality to capitalize on. It's really about melee coming in at the very end. You can't play the normal Hanzo playstyle where you want to go in, you know, look for damage and then go back. You really need to just wait and be the assassin from the Echo to the bush.
And it completely changes the way you want to approach lords and things too, right? Because you only have a certain time frame that you can really, yeah, you can't hold it. The rest of you have to really be able to count on the rest of the team, and the rest of your team has to know, okay, this is when we're going. We got about 10 seconds, and we need to make it count. So it's either that we rely completely on melee, or we kind of wait out for Chinchaw here to start to scale. Luckily, Chinchaw's taking no deaths, but Shell also taking no deaths, and Shell's going to start shredding down Violet. Shell's going to start shredding down Thal. We're already seeing the damage from Vival. If the game continues at this pace, Team Vitalities should be able to stay in control.
I think so. Again, right? They are very happy to just be even against Falcons Vega at this time. But the fact that they are 3,000 gold ahead puts them in such a good position, because at this point, they can hold the Lord. They can play the Lord dance, but they don't even need to. It's Team Falcons Vega that needs to look for a play. And even then, they can get poked. Cine here, getting poked in the mid lane. That's what Melee can do. Oh, an assassination in the mid lane. Melee finding the play. Cine popped the Dominator Zen a bit too late. Vivian now is going to be coming on the final slash, bringing her back. Pops in the Implosion in time. No shove just yet. Vival in the midst of it all with the deadly catch as well. Violet able to find a little bit there. Tal, that's an Earth Shatter kill in the midst of it all. Jumping in, gets deleted by Chinchaw. Vivian going to be next on the chopping block as Melee dives in deep onto Vival. But she's still able to survive. Back to the Pinnacle Ninja that she placed down 3-4-2.
Watch for Fumi Echo, though. Doesn't want to let him have this Lord for free. Vival still on the map, finally got Endless Battle in, and this is where the damage is really going to start taking off. This is where those passive procs are going to proc along with the Endless Battle, and it's not just going to be the crap cannon that you have to worry about. So I like the way it's going here. And again, the big problem with having this Hanzo is you can't really rush Lord, right? When you already use your Pinnacle Ninja, you can't just stand there in front of Lord and basic attack it. You know, there's not a whole lot you can do. You need your team with you. So Teams Falcons Vega, we're pretty much back to ground zero here.
Vitality are on the Lord. Just bursting it down with Shell in the chaos now. Vival picks it up with the Retribution. Pinnacle Ninja used up with the detonator. Implosion from Vivian in the back as the shove gets them as well. So much time bought. Final slash on the Shell. Still with the Brilliance. Still able to escape. Fumi Echo against 3 members will finally be dealt with. 2-for-0 as Lord gets taken by Vitality. Violet is hovering over. She doesn't have the final slash, so it is all but over to fight. Melee doesn't want it to be over. Jumps in again. Shell able to dash away from the Synchro Vision. Vivian gonna be choked down, but she is able to get the shove, forcing Melee to jump back to the Pinnacle Ninja.
Okay, so Team Falcons Vega, they get the 2 kills. They try to push in onto the mid tower, but again, you have Vival, you have Vivian. Vival alone is gonna have some good wave clear. At this point though, Team Falcons Vega are finally gonna at least get something out of that win. As long as they can shred down this Lord, it's definitely a win for them in that last Lord pit. Taking a look at the items, Vival looking like we're going straight to BOD, straight to BOD. So Hunter Strike, Malefic Roar, Endless Battle, BOD. We're talking straight damage. As Nicey would say, big damn. Now, on the side of Team Falcons Vega, I want to take a look at Chincha. We got that Magic Crystal in. We got the Feather of Heaven, Starlight Scythe. We're starting to see Chincha really start to output a bit. Definitely ahead of Shell right now. Tower does not drop, so Team Falcons Vega lose essentially nothing out of that Lord.
Yeah. This is why, by the way, for Team Vitality, this is a very risky composition to play because technically, yeah, you do have control over the neutral objectives, but in terms of structures, it's going to be really hard to start sieging down without a marksman. Damage dealt, though. Again, team fighting-wise, they're good. They're really good. Look at that Bane.
Yeah, but Hanzo's sitting right behind, just waiting, you know? And as you said, Hanzo's just continuing to scale, and Hanzo, there's no answer to Hanzo.
No.
Zero answer to Hanzo. The only answer is kill everybody and then get to Hanzo. Or Fumi Echo needs to kind of sit a little bit farther away from these fights, find angles, and maybe get to the back line with a big penalty zone. You know, but one of them needs to be the so who do you send for the hunter? Do you send somebody for the hunter? Do you know? There's got to be some way to play around this. They need to find some answer because I don't know if just meeting them head on is the correct way to approach it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of ways, now that you're mentioning it, right? At this point, how do you get to the Hanzo? Especially considering, look at how far Maylane is from the team. She's just in the base, constantly using a Pinnacle Ninja, jumping back to the normal body. Fumi Echo, penalty zone implosion. Oh, she missed it! Violet able to flicker out of it. Shell with the Brilliance now on the Tau, who still has the Primal Wrath, decides to pop it in. The Dominator's descent was baited out too. These are some big resources. Wow, Violet!
Big resources 15 seconds before the Lord comes in. Maylane's already got Pinnacle Ninja ready to go. Chincha still has him on force. Funi and Thal are the only ones that use their ultimates, and that's not a big loss. And Funi's already got Black Shoes back. At this point, Team Falcons Vega could go for the Lord Rush here, but Team Vitality never seemed to feel shaken even after those mess-ups. They're still hanging out down here. They're still like, nah, we'll fight for this. We'll push this. Is it the right play, though?
Final slash on the Fumi Echo, still able to survive right now. Jumps in with the penalty zone right now. Oh. Vivian goes in. Vivo is able to delete Chin Chow. Sun back into the normal body now. No Pinnacle Ninja for a bit. But she finds it back again. She can go for it. Cine is waiting in the bush right now. Pops into the Dominator's descent once again. And it's into the implosion, into the shove, and the chaos too. They find it this time. And Vivo is on a killing spree.
BDB. Big Damage Bane.
BDB.
BDB. And we just saw Chincha lose about 90% of a health bar with about one shot and then finished off with the final one. Completely destroyed. Chincha now is going to have to second think about how she jumps into these fights. And now we're starting to see some of the downfalls of Maylane, right? If Maylane can't be there, if Thal goes down and Thal gets shredded, then there's nothing to protect Chincha, right? There's nothing to protect Fumi at this point. So Team Falcons Vega also have to think about how they want to approach these fights because now the damage scales are starting to heavily favor into Team Vitality.
It's going to be very scary as we enter the base here. For Falcons Vega, they can still go for the defense, obviously. Oh, that damage on the Vivo. Whoa. Might be able to find it. Deadly catch this engage. But that's a lot of HP burnt out of Vivo. As they still have a Lord to play with. Falcons Vega, good clear. They have a Lilia. They have a Harith. Pilot try to go for the final slash, unable to get it. A big resource spent. Lord up top, enhanced, charging down. Tal. That's good Dominator's descent. Zoned him away from the turret as the Lord just chunks through the turret there. Maylane again on the Vivo, but he buys Immortality just in time. Lord on the base. Able to split Falcons Vega. Final slash again, connecting down to two members. Fumi Echo still in the midst of it all with Vivian there. Good shove. And the penalty zone locks them down to the back with, again, the Dominator's descent. Just doing so much damage. Vivian loses the Immortality. Maylane looking for the damage down again. Sky Piercer taking Immortality. Vivo pops into Deadly Catch. Now Cine going to be chased down. Maylane very low. Still going for the chase, still has the Pinnacle Ninja, but has to decide to play it slow. They've lost two base turrets.
Okay, so they're able to defend a bit there. For a second, it looked very dangerous. Let's take a look at the replay. This is where we see that the Pinnacle Ninja is just unable to do anything. A beautiful descent, even early on to get the first tower, and then back again to get the second. Watch Chincha here. Drops him on force, but is instantly just taken out. Maylane saves the day here, finding Shell, finding some of the damage. Chincha, I mean, the damage is just too much. Harith cannot hang out. And I don't think she can risk like building defensively at all, right? Finally gets the winner crown, but when it happens that fast, you don't even got time to click the button. You know, you have to preemptively click it because you never know when the crab cannon's gonna ricochet and hit you. So it's still just troublesome for Chincha right now.
It really is. It's a big problem. And I think at this point, it's not just a problem for Chin Chow, it's really a problem for even the frontliners, because the Endless Battle and the Malefic Roar and the Hunter Strike, there's a lot of, there's true damage in the Endless Battle, there's a lot of penetration in the Malefic Roar and the Hunter Strike, and the fact now that if you dive on towards them, they have a Winter Crown too.
Yeah.
They can pop in Deadly Catch and then freeze.
Winter Crown, Fu.
Winter Crown, Fu.
And that even helps, it's going to be helping against Melee. We've already seen the answer to Melee. If the Pinnacle Ninja comes in, maybe it's a penalty zone or maybe it's a Deadly Catch or something like that. But just in case Vivol's really in danger, you win a crown, you have enough time to get at least one more Crab Claw Cannon back, and boom, boom,
Indeed.
boom. Right in the kisser.
Right. That caught me off guard for the Leo moment earlier in the analyst panel. I wonder what sounds Bane makes, maybe.
He's like, what's his name?
Ah,
From Pirates.
yes. Jonathan, that's his name, yeah. Let's talk about this Lord, though. 18 minutes in, that's an Evolved Lord. It's a big boy. Team Falcons Vega. At this point, how do they even set up for this? Because really, they can't hold on to it. They really just have to retaliate. They have to wait for Vitality to make the proactive move.
Malin's going to be working on the purple buff. I mean, Team Falcons Vega are taking their time, but we already know Team Vitality can rush a Lord down if they want to. The last Lord got taken down in a matter of seconds. So if Team Vitality knows that Melee is far away and knows Chinsha is not in the game, I would not put it past Vitality at all to just jump onto this. But they do know the damage is a possibility. So I like the positioning from Cine and Vivian. Not rushing. They have they're behind in gold right now, actually. So this could be due to why they're kind of taking this slow. At this point, one mistake from either one could spell doom. Let's take a look at these items real fast. Look at Fumi Echo with a huge gold lead over Violet, but we're getting into danger zone. I mean, we're getting into a tied up zone where it's going to be about 62k gold. Everyone's maxed out on items, and then it just comes down to pure gameplay, to what comp outdoes the other. We talked about the late game possibilities of Vivol. Does this mean the game is pretty much in the bag for Team Vitality? Because I still feel like Team Falcons Vegas have a lot of answers. They just need to watch out for some of those crab claw cannons, essentially.
Yeah. I don't think, I think it's still very, very gray. It's still very 50-50, but the advantage is definitely on Team Vitality. They got 2 base turrets.
Yeah,
they can play the long
just that
game.
alone.
Exactly. So macro advantage, yes. Team fight advantage, at this point, I don't even know. It really comes down to the execution. Because Falcons Vega have a pretty good late game too with the Hanzo. Yeah. As long as Melee comes in at the very last moment, right? She can't be the one, or together with the team, she can't be the one engaging. Oh, conceal. Good onward catching Vivian! Immortality going to be popped right now as the damage descent is right in the base with all people. Gets rid of the Pinnacle Ninja. They're still Tal able to use the Primal Raptors. Fumi Echo jumps forward. Chell onto the Brilliant she goes. Cine able to flicker back away. Good penalty zone. Tal going to be taken down there. Even Violet falling to the chaos damage of Tal.
Man, I really like Team Falcons Vega approach in the beginning. They should have just got their one pick off and backed off, because Melee was able to keep Vivol away. And it's like almost like, okay, this is the plan. We keep Vivol away out of the fight, we get our kill, and we back off. But then they stay a bit too long. But wait a second.
Pinnacle Ninja on the tower! Dead in the back, finding the flank! Funi's next to the chopping block, pops into Brilliance. Funi gonna be chased down. The damage is real. Flicker forward, Tel finds a double.
Somebody had to flank the back line. We were wondering who it was gonna be. Well, Shell showed up. There was no hiding today for Melee, and now it's nothing but chin shot. This could be the end.
Penalty zone into the Purify. Fumi Echo losing the Immortality. Vivol still there, trying to go for the Crab Claw Cannon. Chincha, oh my goodness! God. Gets deleted from the map. Match point for Vitality.
Holy smokes. Team Vitality seems to have the answer.
Yeah.